Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Allison if you're new here, and today we are finally doing some work on the basement. Our basement has been our storage space during this entire renovation process, and we finally got some help from my parents to watch our toddler, and so Christian and I are going to tackle this disaster and make it more functional. I didn't have a great before shot of this space. Christian had actually been working on organizing and decluttering and just consolidating all of the boxes we were keeping down here to hopefully make this a more functional space. The biggest problem down here is that we just have boxes and boxes of stuff that we can't unpack in the house yet, and so it was just full. There's no room to walk around. We were keeping some of Maddie's toys down here, but it wasn't really functional for her to play in. So we're going to be doing a little mini makeover to this space, a little bit of paint, a little bit of home decor, and a lot of organizing, decluttering, simplifying. You can see here I'm working at this little cube shelf. That's where we keep a lot of Madeline's toys down here. I'd love this to be more of a toy rotation station, but right now with the chaos going on down here, it's definitely just like shove everything in every little crevice you can find and hope for the best and hope it stays clean longer than a day. But we're gonna just organize all of this stuff. You'll see us moving things around. We finally have a little more room to work in our garage, so we can move some of the storage things out there. Just organizing and decluttering as phase one of this project before we make any of this actually like a little bit prettier. Consolidating all of the boxes was actually probably the easiest part of this video and this whole project, because most of these boxes we've already kind of dipped into and dug through for different items. So a lot of them are just halfway full, a quarter full, and it's pretty easy to just kind of consolidate things and put like two boxes into one to clear up a bunch of space. So it actually was not terribly difficult to do this process. There's just so much stuff to have gone through that like it just took a little bit of time to actually go through all of these boxes.
We could have worked it out, but we got too close to the sun. When all is said and
The other main thing that kickstarted this process was us thinking about long-term plans for the house. Upstairs we have a pretty long and narrow living room that's just not really suitable for a like large TV space, and we're thinking that the upstairs living room will be more of a sitting room, hanging out space, maybe a smaller frame TV that's a little more discreet. But we do love football in this house, we love movie nights, and so we wanted a space to still be functional as like a get on the couch, get cozy, grab a snack and watch a movie or watch football all day long. And we think this downstairs basement space, like kind of a bonus room, would be ideal for that. So we really wanted to see how wide this room is. This room's also pretty narrow, and we have this large fireplace in the middle of it that I don't think is functional. We'd have to do a lot of work to get that functional. But we wanted to see like how far away realistically the TV was. If we had a big TV in here, do we need to get rid of this fireplace? Just to help us kind of conceptualize like long term what this house will look like and work for us. So we pulled our second TV out to kind of set it up against the fireplace to see just how like far apart it was. We don't love it, but it's a lot better than we thought it was. It was hard to imagine this space and picture that kind of stuff with so many boxes in the way. We set up a little bench on one side of the fireplace, and we can kind of picture like if you had a couch here, how far are you looking up above the fireplace, and all of that for the TV placement. So that kind of stuff's still a long ways away. The basement's not our top priority right now, but it was fun to kind of dream and imagine that. Now that we had the carpets all clear though, it was desperately time to clean clean these. I had gone through and vacuumed them for the very first time in this video. This basement's just been gross and it leads out to our backyard, so it just gets dirty from Bucky and leaves and home projects and all that stuff. So I vacuumed it really well, and then I went into a spot treatment of a stain remover. These carpets they're just nasty, don't look too closely, and I saw my carpet cleaner was just already down here, and so we just got straight to work, and I spent maybe an hour or so just doing the best I can on these floors. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better and a lot cleaner than it was before, so that's a win. And don't worry, towards the end we're going to add a lot of decor in this room. Well, not a lot, but we're definitely going to be adding area rugs to cover up the worst of these carpets.
Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
I called Christian in to help with the nasty job of emptying all of the dirty water from the carpets. We just did it straight in the bathroom connected to the basement. This is a bathroom nobody uses, so do not worry about us dumping all this grime in here. It's also terrible lighting, which is it's just gross. All this is gross. I hope it's satisfying to see all the dirt get out of the carpets though.
Everybody needs some time to figure themselves out. But I want you close, and I still...
Now it's time to prep the room for some paint by pulling all of the furniture into the center of the room, and then it's going to be the exciting part of covering up all of this dark wood paneling. Thank you to SoFi for sponsoring the next portion of the video. If you don't already know, SoFi is an all-in-one finance company that helps you bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Did you know that the hardest part of a home DIY project isn't the DIY? It's buying the home to begin with. Seriously. And if you're a military family, you need to check out SoFi. They're veteran-led and dedicated to helping military families through the home buying process with unique mortgage benefits suited to what we need, like relaxed credit and income requirements making it easier to get approved, no down payment requirements so you can buy a home faster, exclusive low rates to help you save money, a dedicated mortgage loan officer to guide you through the home buying process, and don't forget exclusive low rates and reduced closing costs. But it gets better. Right now, military and veteran families could win up to $50,000 to go towards rent or mortgage payments for a year. To enter, visit SoFi.com/winVA to view your VA home mortgage rate today. You can even lock in your rate today for an additional sweepstake entry. Thank you again to SoFi for sponsoring this portion of the video. Prepping for paint is always my least favorite part of the process. It's so tedious and all these little details that you really should take the time to be attentive to and like careful with and do it the right way, but I just hate it. Taking out these curtain rods that have been installed for decades probably is a pain in the butt. Christian saw me struggling and then kicked me off the project and said, let me do that, you go start spackling. And then I had to go around and find all of the tiny holes and nails left in the wall, pull those out, and then fill that with nail filler. A tip I learned from an Instagram page is don't bother with sanding these kinds of holes though, it creates more dust and mess. Just get a damp rag and wipe it away and it cleans it up like perfectly. It'll basically do the same thing that sanding will do without any dust being left behind. I'm also going to go around and de-spiderweb this basement. It's not AC and like fully well like sealed in here, so we definitely have some bugs and spider webs and creepy crawlies, and so I'm going to go and clean all of that up and just wipe down everything so it's ready for paint to go on smoothly and cleanly. Now Now we are finally getting to painting this room. I was dreading painting this space though because I knew there were so many little trim pieces and detail work that it would take a long time, even though it's not an exceptionally large space. With all of the paneling, I have to cut in on all of these grooves and ridges. If I were to just take a big roller, it doesn't fill in all of those gaps. So that's time consuming. And then the trim work along the ceiling, the baseboards, the window frames. And then when we get to the large wall that faces the fireplace, you'll see that there's just so many little details to get into. So this process took forever. Like it probably was a week of me painting, like lots of hours each day. Also, the dark wood paneling was not my friend. It took 3 coats of this paint to get pretty opaque and cover it up. It's all well worth it, but this is probably one of the most time-consuming projects I've done in a long time. It just was so tedious, and just coat after coat of paint just took forever. But well worth it. Once again, I'm using the color Swiss Coffee by Behr Paints all over this room. Just a nice, crisp, clean white. Like I said, one day we'll get to actually doing a full redo of this basement, and that's probably going to involve removing all of this paneling. There's just no way to patch holes left behind in the paneling, and we also want to do a different kind of ceiling in here. We don't want this tile ceiling, so this whole space one day will be completely demoed out and redone, but until then, a fresh coat of paint makes a world of a difference in here.
I'm hoping that you stick around. Show me what it's like from the other side. Would you stay another night? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
You can probably spy that back bedroom in the basement. That is now the more consolidated storage space in this house. So we're not going back there, not working back there. That's a whole nother project for another day. But don't forget, there's lots of little hidden nooks and crannies in this home that we will have to get to one day. Well, we don't have to, we get to. We bought this house knowing it was a project, and it's one that we're excited to tackle. It's just so time consuming. We're still working on the bathroom situation upstairs. If you've been following along for a while, you know that we had a lot of supporting issues with our house because we have a 1-story house, but like a basement garage and a basement level. So technically the like first story of our house is the like ground level, but it's on the 2nd floor because we're on a hill, if you're tracking. And because the house is so old and had settled, we needed to re-support all of the floor joists for that like main level of the house before we build a new bathroom and all of that stuff. And there's been complications and issues, and we've needed more steel to come in, we've needed more contractors to come in, and it's still not quite finished down there. So bathroom makeover is still happening. It's just a very slow process, so we will get there one day. But in the meantime, we're still enjoying taking care of these little projects like this to make what we have work for now. So even though we want to completely like nuke this entire room and start from scratch in here, making it better, making it more functional in the meantime is definitely a better way to use our time than just twiddling our thumbs while we wait for our contractor to figure out what's wrong with our floors. So once again, a little motivation, a little bit of progress here and there. It feels like we haven't done much in this house, but if we look back on all of the things we've done in like, what, 5 months of living here, it's pretty shocking to see. But a new day, we are working on this big back wall. Like I said, there's just so much trim. There's like a header that runs across the top of the ceiling. I don't know if that's like supportive of the house or if that's like just for looks. I don't quite know, but it's like one more thing to have to like cut in on and trim. And you guys get what I'm saying. It was a complicated paint process. It took forever. I'm speeding it up very, very fast for you guys and skipping the 2nd and 3rd coats so you guys get to see just the satisfying parts.
Wheels in motion, I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean. I can see you want this too, 'cause you've been looking at me all night trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know, and I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling.
Now, because the other half of this room is still covered in like storage racks and boxes and the big fireplace project, I was not going to be painting that side of the room. I'm only going to paint these 2 walls, and trust me, it took me a week like I already said. So it was a big enough project to paint these 2 walls, and it was still impactful. So when you see the final product of this room, or like the after shots, you'll probably pick up that we still have a lot of dark wood paneling in this room and not everything got painted, but these 2 walls being painted makes such a huge difference, and one day I'll either get around to painting everything else in here, or it'll just stay this way until it's time to just redo this whole room. I called Christian back in here to do all of the heavy lifting because you can tell that I am extremely pregnant in this video. I'm 40 weeks, maybe even 41 towards the end of this. Our baby is here. I will share more on that later. I have a little bit of back filmed stuff to get through and share to make our little postpartum maternity leave a little bit easier on me. But I'm very pregnant in this video, so Christian's doing all the heavy lifting. He would have been helping through all the paint and stuff, but he was building our backyard fence through this whole time my parents were here, so he was working extremely hard. But happy to come help and make sure that I was not trying to move all of the random furniture we have down here. Like I said, it's not perfect. We just have this bench that used to be at the foot of our bed, and our nightstands are still down here in the basement. That's kind of the only seating we have in this space. I also need to put all of my books back and get this room put back together before we kind of make it a little bit prettier, a little bit of decor, and turn this more into a functional play space. Like I said, we'd love this to be a TV room, a bonus room in the future, but right now the most functional use for it is probably just for Madeline to get to have all of her toys and all of this space just run around and play. And it's been so much fun and so enjoyable to have a clean, fresh space like this just for her to make a mess with all of her toys. And like I said, you can see all of that wood paneling still left behind in here. We're not perfect on this project, but progress over perfection any day in my book is better. How we started in this room versus where we are now is night and day difference, and I am so excited about this space being functional for us again.
How come the trees gets undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold?
This project was pretty spur of the moment, not something I had been planning on doing for a while, and so I was at Target like weeks ago and spotted this new rug, and I fell in love with it immediately but had nowhere to put it. And so I was just like in the back of my mind like, oh, it's such a cute rug. And so we went to Target to buy it, and the only size they had, or the biggest size they sold, at least in our store, was a 5x7, which just wasn't big enough to be in front of the fireplace. So we moved this over into like Maddie's play corner. We're putting her nugget couch here, all of her toys that are here, her books. So that's like her little play space. And my mom, since they were here to help out with Madeline while we were waiting for baby, she brought this lamp that she had bought from Target recently. Too much time had passed and she couldn't return it, and there wasn't anywhere in her home that she loved it, so she offered to bring it to us, and I was like, yes, please, a pretty rattan lamp. We needed more lighting down in here, but you can see that Madeline immediately got into this space, pulled out all of her puzzles, and got to work. But we knew we wanted one more big area rug just to cover the bulk of this room, and so I spotted from Home Depot's website, of all places, this really pretty soft blue rug. The carpets in here are white, the walls are white, everything's pretty neutral in here, so I didn't want to just do like another like vintage beigey carpet. So I know it's not colorful by any means, but for me it's pretty colorful. It's got some pretty yellows in it, and it's a great 8x10 size to just cover up the remaining carpet in this space and just make it feel clean to walk in here and to have Maddie just running laps. So we put that in, we have the fresh lamp in there, we have the new rug in Maddie's play space, and this room is just so much better. It's like a breath of fresh air. I'm so happy we took all the time to do this, and even though it's not perfect, it's definitely not like Pinterest perfect, it's so much more functional, and we love the space so much. So thanks for following along, thanks for enjoying this makeover. You can see there's still lots to do in here, and maybe we'll get to that someday. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
I forgot to check where the party was at. Roaming around without any trouble, I began to ask.